Hi and welcome to Magoos Corner. I'm your host Trevor. We're looking now at the Division 6 reserves for round 3 last week and also reviewing what was going to take place in round 4 next week. So this is thanks to australiasports.com with the SA Footballer magazine. So make sure you subscribe and you get the magazine sent through to you. It's got a lot of information, a great read, and it's an opportunity for those guys to get their name up in lights and get some recognition for your efforts on a Saturday in the reserves competition. It's the first time ever that the reserves comp is being reviewed and getting exposure like this through any media format. So make sure you get on board and then get the recognition you deserve. So first up, we'll have a look at Fitzroy versus Westroydon, which was at the Fitzroy Sports Club. Fitzroy getting the job done, 11-8-74 to Westroydon 9-5-59. So close game, but one that we actually did think, if I remember correctly, Westroydon would get up on this one. But yeah, so at the centre dome at Fitzroy, it was obviously too good. So Fitzroy goal kickers was Manchef with 3, Partridge with 2, Cronin with 2, and a couple of other boys pitching in with 1 apiece. And then in the best players we had Manchef, Kale, Tran, also with McKinnon and Brady. Westroydon goal scorers, we had D. Campbell with 3, Sean Anderson with 2, and Bottrell also picking in with 1. Best players were Persh, Rowan and Smith. So interesting to see that Dallas has picked up a few guys and some of their A graders from last year are now filtering down to their B grade side, which does help them a lot with depth. And also they've lost a few with just due to age and so on. So it's Westroydon are in a pretty good spot at the minute. So that's well done to Dallas and the guys out there. But yeah, no sort of disrespect. But yeah, hopefully they can get up and about. Next game we had Lockleys versus Brahma Lodge at Lockleys Oval, but unfortunately for the home side it was 4-6-30 to Brahma's 11-12-78. So this was one I think we picked Brahma to win. We'll get a tally by round 9 as to how correct and how good we are at getting our tips right, and then we'll come back to it and see if we can get some sort of hard thing that we'd need to do. So if we get it wrong, we've got to do something like jump out of a plane. We'll see what the producer wants to do. But goal scorers for Lockley, we had Posimato with 2, Scarlett and Olds chipping in. Best players Butler, Bradford and Farrar. And for Brahma Lodge we had Hennings with 3, Lehman with 2 and Ince with 2. And best players were Ince, Dawson and Hennings. So yeah, nice win there to Brahma, and they're kicking along nicely at the moment. So now we head out to Mawson Lakes Oval, where Mawson's took on Smithfield in a one-sided affair. So Mawson's 4-2-26 to Smithfield 21-21-147. So yeah, very one-sided. Nisbet with 7, Lane with 5 and Shaw with 3, and Wanganeen, Child and Gray kicking in with 2 apiece. So very good spread. Best players were Nisbet of course with 7, Child, Stokes, Wanganeen and Callion. And for Mawson Lakes, a little bit not as favourable, but Novosel with 2, Williams and Douglas also chipping in, and best players with Kuhl, Melican and Delbridge. So very much a one-sided affair. Not sure what's happening out there at Mawson Lakes. There seems to be a few issues, and one of them being depth. And they're not the only club. It's happening around the place a lot with things that are happening. But hopefully they can be competitive next week. And then the last game of the round we had Central United versus Ingle Farm at Mofflin Reserve. Central United 5-8-38 defeated by Ingle Farm 10-10-70. So a nice result there for Ingle Farm, which I think we did call. So goal kickers for the Dodds were Brinkley with 5, Smith, Gully and 2 dads, Todd Fossey. Kicking in there with 1 apiece, so and a good spread of goal scorers too. Della, Burt and Stair with getting in the best players. For Central United we had Broadbent, Elborn and Salomon getting in the goals there, and Forlani, Bennett and Thatch getting in the goal scorers. So looking ahead to round 4 for this week, and of course we had Trinity with the bye for round 3. Westroydon get the bye this week, get a week off. Hopefully they'll get out there and support their ones. But we have Brahma Lodge versus Central United at Brahma Lodge Oval. For me, I think it would be Brahma Lodge. Ingle Farm versus Fitzroy out at Roe Park. Ingle Farm, and hopefully they can continue on. It sounds like there's a lot of good things happening out there at Ingle Farm at the moment with one of our co-hosts. Smithfield versus Lockleys at Smithfield Oval. Smithfield in a canter for me. Based on last week's results, I think they're pretty strong at the moment, so they'll get the job done there. Trinity Old Scholars versus Mawson Lakes. So Trinity, having the bye last week, will be nice and fresh. Mawson Lakes won't be able to cope. So the tossers out there will get the job done, and that's it for Division 6 reserves. Make sure you keep your eye out on Thursday for the australiasports.com with the SA Footballer magazine. We'll catch you again next week.